the other one? Oh, the OBS software. You run it first. You get these specifics. I got 3 pieces of software running.
Okay, so, yeah, so just keep it going. And then on the other side, when you say...
The other side.
On the YouTube side.
Okay.
When you say go live, you should see a preview. You don't have a, it's trying to save the previous event. You don't want that one.
Yeah, I don't,
You
yeah.
have a new one. Just do that.
So I got mango meat and
You just want to save it. Okay, so then you start.
banana.
Okay, yeah, create. I don't know what that was.
Okay.
Yeah, create go live.
Are we on
That's the
camera?
mango. Camera's over
Go
there.
live.
Where?
And then,
Music stand. The phone on the music stand.
Hello. So come down to Ono Brewery.
See, this says it's still
No,
live.
It's turned this way,
I
I think.
yeah, did you not stop it? Maybe. It does say
Yeah,
live.
it's, yeah.
See if it pumps through. See if it gets.
I don't know what's, so then when I go look for it, well, I can't, now I can't because,
Oh, no, yeah, you got it.
no, because I
Ono
don't
Brewery
know.
has 2 new beers
Okay,
out.
good,
They've
that's on
got
the
a
brewing
banana
company.
Hefeweizen
So then when I go
and a
here to see if
berry
it's
beer.
running.
It's not running yet, so that, well, it should, that thing there would say
And come down and get a growler.
go live.
It's now streaming.
Outside.
No, there we
They
go.
are uber sanitizing everything.
Okay,
So they're very, very,
see if you can
very
drag the
conscious of
progress
what's
forward,
going on,
because you
and
may be behind.
There's almost 0 chance that you're gonna get
No,
contaminated.
this is as far as it goes.
Okay, so this is, no, so it's live, it's just a few seconds delayed, it looks live to me. Right, so if I step out here. Testing, testing.
That's really,
It's more than 6 seconds lag now, but it's, now I'm gonna walk in front and do a
I'm
timeout
gonna
second.
go get another one of those. Those are good. No,
Careful,
this is,
you might not be able to drive home.
yeah,
So it's like 20 seconds or whatever.
Taking
I know.
it
Stay
in
another hour.
is not an option.
okay. Oh, we got Terry, okay, so how many people we got so far?
So it looks like we're almost, we have our YouTube feed. Is it live now, Moses?
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay, so we finally got our technology running. Sorry for taking so long, but just with 4 different devices all running at the same time. And you'll see later that we've got squares taped off, which is approximately 3 feet, so you're not allowed to stand in a box next to someone, you have to stand in a box 1 more over. So that gives you your 6 feet between each person. And then we, of course, have the stage up front. We have the table back here. And we're broadcasting live from Ono Brewery. And somebody mentioned about my growler. I don't have my growler on me. I'll get it here in a minute. Because I'll be messing with the technology. I do have an empty glass that I'm going to go get filled here shortly and turn it over to David. They've been running the jam. We've been doing a couple of Facebook Lives while we get started. But now we've got the YouTube live stream running, and this is the way we're going to probably do that. We're going to figure out how to do some other things like cross-connect Zoom so that we could do our open mic. We are not going to do the open mic today because the technology was challenging enough. As you know, that because of the crisis, we only have 5 people from the club here at Ono Brewery, keeping below, of course, way below the 10 count. And I want to say that we got, let me see, I'm going to point the camera this way. So we got Brian and Amy over there. And then we got David over there. And then we got Amy over there. And you can see everybody staying to their 6 to 8 feet. So I'm going to go give me a refill, and somebody asked, I think that was, who was that asked? Bob was asking about my growler. I will bring my growler here in just a second. And you can see that David's using some hand sanitizers. I do want to point this out because I want to thank Scott and Cindy, because if you look behind me where the stage is, you'll actually see that there is a a hand wash station that they are letting us use so that we can, anytime we touch something, we're going to wash our hands. If we touch our instruments, we're going to wash our hands. And then, but one of the things I will tell you that Scott and Cindy had done before we got here, they wiped down everything that's inside of this brew house room so that it's nice and clean. And then, so one of the things that we're doing is that nobody's got any fevers or coughs or anything like that. And so we're hoping that we're doing all the good practices and we still be able to do the jams with you. So I'm going to turn it over to David and everybody to continue the jams that they've been doing on Facebook Live. And now we're official on our own society Facebook page and YouTube channel. So David Bartel, take it away.
All right, we have an open microphone up here if somebody wants to come help me sing, because otherwise I'll blow away everybody. But first, the important stuff, silencing the phone. That's what it is. There we go. I meant to say, have a brew, because that's where we are.
What are we gonna play?
What do we got playing? So, I've got a tangle here. Hold on a second.
So while he's getting ready, Ono Brewery has new beers out. They have a banana hefeweizen.
Ooh, it's not a Hefeweizen.
Hefeweizen.
I'm sorry, hefeweizen. Hefeweizen. The Arizona, yeah. And then they have a new Vienna lager and berry Ono brewed. Anyway, come down and get a growler to take with you, or sit outside and drink some beer. They only allow 10 people in, but they have this whole sterile technique set up going on, so you have no fear of, should have no fear of getting any cooties.
We all living in front of the counter here, is that the idea?
Yeah.
Anyway, I just
Well,
want to
let's
give a
plug
plug
in.
for Ono Brewery.
You
They
come
always
up
have the
here,
best
you
beer.
plug in, and I'll move back up here.
Okay. All right, so we can do, we can repeat one if we want
And it's more slowly.
to slowly. What do you want to do? We could do, when the Saints Go Marching In, that's an easy one, right? On page 11 of our Talks book. Should we do that? So it's in C. So we have C, G7, F, C7, and that's it. Okay. Strong. That works. Oh, when the saints go marching in. Oh, when the saints go marching. G7. Oh, Lord, I sing. C7. Oh, is Bum Ditty Strong.
Skip the Primer, go right into the jams.
Okay.
Okay, jams. Hey, Moses, when you get a chance, see if anybody's clocking in over there. We do have, I think we should have the chat window open at the
Chat
moment.
window is open.
Chat window is open. We'll check in a minute. We're not checking right this second.
Let's do gamblers a jam.
Those are gamblers jam.
Yeah.
No one will have it.
They might.
Can you call the
Yeah.
words out or something like that?
Yeah, we can call the words out.
You want to call them out, Dave? Amy's got a.
Yeah, if I can see it. Okay, so we're talking about doing the Gambler in honor of Kenny Rogers, the late Kenny Rogers, who I saw live, probably most of us have, right?
I saw him
The
live.
Gambler. So we're going to get the sheet up here, and we're going to be able to call out the chords for people who want to strum them. Just, what key is it in?
C.
It's in C.
All right, so it's going to start with C, C, F, C.
C, C, F, C.
F, C, C, G.
F, C, C, G. You can move that up a little if you want.
C, C, F,
No, no, you're good.
G. So C, C, F, C. And then it's F, C, G, C.
Alright.
And each verse is the same.
Okay, good. Can you see that, Brian?
It's ignored that you have to, this modulates to D, so you probably won't stay in C unless you want to change, or change it. Modulate to D, it's fine.
Okay, all right, yeah, so we're gonna start to C, and then at some point we're gonna modulate to D, at which point the chords will be D, D, G, and A7.
This is in case somebody was asking, this is the size of my growler. It's the first anniversary Ono Brewing Company growler. It was the only one that they ever made. So if you got one of these, it's real special because you also get a discount when you fill it back up every time. So actually going to fill this up this afternoon, but this was for the one question that was on the chat room.
All right. Keep the chats coming. Now we have the chat room is now staffed.
So it's thumb strum.
Thump strum, okay.
On a warm summer's eve, on a train bound for nowhere, met with a gambler.
C, G7, C.
So he took turns staring at the window at the darkness. The boredom overtook us.
G7,
He began to
C.
He said, son, I've been alive. I read enough people's faces, knowing what they're going through, the way they have their eyes. And if you don't mind my saying, I can see your eyes faces, the taste of your whiskey, Jesus, always so I handed him my bottle. He drank down my last swallow. Then he bumped a cigarette, asked me for
G7,
a
C.
and the night got deathly quiet. And his face lost all expression. Said, if you're gonna play the game, boy, learn to play right. Got to go when the cold,
F,
go when the ball's done. Know when to walk away. Know when to run. No one's counting your money. When you're sitting at the table, reclining on the
G7,
when the deal's done. D.
D.
They get to know secret to survive. Joy to throw away.
Only D7.
Key. Cause every hand's a winner, and every hand's a loser. Best that you can hope for is the boat. G. Know when to hold on. Know when to walk away. Know when to run. Knows your money. G. When you're sitting at the table, G. Time not enough for counting. When in the back of line. At the table. Alright, so we'll practice the tag.
So rest in peace, Kenny Rogers,
Yeah. How old was he?
81.
81, died natural causes apparently. All right, so that was great. Thank you, guys.
So easy, pretty simple song if you'll
Yeah.
learn it.
So Bob, this is Moses. I'm glad you liked my growler.
Is that a fisheye?
It's wide angle. I don't think it's not a fisheye now. Did you do Shady Grove? Take Me Home Country Roads?
We did not do that.
You did?
We didn't do that one.
Okay,
Western.
so let's do Take Me Home Country Roads, West Makaha. So this is the Israel Kamakaviva Ole version of it. It's in F.
We also got a special request for Molokai Slide by Terry.
Okay, we'll do more.
We also got Maui Superman by, and I saw it here, but I missed where it went.
All right, you can help us with that.
So Mary Jane Mills asked for Maui Superman. I'll do that one here in a little bit.
All right.
So we got, and I could also do, because you guys already did, but I could lead the Molokai Slide and Maui Superman back to back.
Okay.
What else we got? You said you had one up there, right? Did you get a request?
No, we just picked one.
Go ahead, play that one.
Okay.
Strom David.
Okay.
It's just a,
F, D minor, C, E flat.
you can use Calypso strum on that. That would be probably the best.
Okay, Calypso strum.
Let's see.
That's an F chord. Almost heaven, West Montana, Irish mountain, coastal near blue water. My friends there, playing on the beach, coming on the mountain.
from the sea. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. Where's the take me home, country road. Take me home, country road.
Okay, not perfect, but that was fun, sounded okay. Okay, requests, Molokai slide. Okay, what page is that?
19.
I'll do that one.
You still streaming over there? Okay. All right. This is page 19 of our Tall Oaks book.
Wait for Moses to stand there.
Those of
Oh,
you who
those
I
are-
will unplug.
Why do you come over here, Brian?
There's a segment, you can plug in there. There's another one.
Okay.
He's got to keep a distance of 73 feet. That's all. Okay, so Molokai slide is in the key of C. It's more or less, it's a sort of a doo-wop sound in that C. Okay, and there's some variations in there, but that's how the verse goes.
Let's do it a little bit slower this time.
What is this leading to?
Well, yeah.
Those
Oh,
space.
He's got to extract the pick out of this. You want to plug into that?
I'll step to the side, take the mic.
Maybe Moses wants to sit.
Sit.
Why don't you come over?
I can't unplug
Oh.
without making a plump noise, so I can stand here.
That's not plugged in yet.
We practice this song.
You guys are here, please, are 6 foot spacing, right? You like our grid on the ground?
Yeah, that's right.
Where's your gown? I wish you brought it.
I like the sands running out to sea.
Test.
This is why I like old man print on those pages,
Yes.
because that stand is so far away.
You have to be
I can
12 and a
still
half feet
read
from the music
I can
station,
move
that's
it
all.
for you.
No, no, I'm fine.
I can move it so it's exactly between you guys.
No, this is good because I can read without my reading.
You could move it, but at what cost?
The sand is running out to sea. I like the drum and the dancing palm trees. I like to listen to places where I won't be. I like the people
I do need that stamp a little bit.
Yeah.
I thought my eyes were a little bit better than that.
Yeah, but you'll do it at what cost?
Next one is the Maui Superman.
I'm still.
All right, where is that? That's. Nope, other.
Page 13.
All right, page 13 of the Tulloch's book. Maui Hawaiian Superman.
That's a hard song.
you guys are wondering, I mean, we're always talking about safe distance. You know, one of the things that's a meme that's floating around, you know, this kind of handshaking, not so good. That's transmission of the virus, 100%. This, same thing, not so good. That's touching. That's spreading the virus around 60%. Then you know this, they are all starting to do this elbow thing. Yeah, it's still not good. You're still touching.
Don't touch.
Spreading of the virus, about 30%. The best greeting is this germ-free greeting. No touching. Shaka.
Virtual hugs. Virtual hugs.
So I'm gonna get back behind the computer and then I'm gonna let these guys pick it out another song and play it. And I'm gonna go take a look at the chat feeds and see what other requests we got. So those are the two requests I got. The Molokai slide from Terry, and hopefully you guys are jamming right along with us. And then Mary Jane Mills, you had the Maui Superman, so that one was for you.
Okay, yeah, let's find out if there's any more requests on the chat. Meanwhile, let's,
Fox on the Run?
Brian, I'm
Oh.
drinking all your beer.
Oh no.
steal back my.
I'm not drunk.
Fox on the Run, I heard somebody say.
Oh, yes.
Do that?
Favorite.
Where is it?
Page 3.
Virginia Bluegrass.
3, okay.
Oh.
All right. Fox on the Run. So we'll go real slow like this. Good.
Okay, hey, Amy, real quick. Amy, turn back your bass a little bit because it's so, it's got a lot of
Reverb.
oomph in it, and then it's creating a muddy sound inside of the
Oh, you're
thing.
counting the beer.
How's this?
Yeah, it's just a little bit back, a little bit more,
Page 3 of Tall Oaks.
just a little bit more.
Is my microphone talk? I need to talk more into it.
Oh, look at that. I got, oh, everybody say, salute to Lauralee. She's in Utah.
Okay. Laura Lee is missing umpteen number of ukulele fests because of this whole thing, and so we'll offer this one
Yeah.
instead. Right? Okay, who's going to start the pace on this? Because I'll go too fast. As I wanted to do.
Yeah, bass player.
Okay, we're thumb strumming on G. She walks through the cornfield down to the river. Hair shone like gold in the hot morning sun. She took all the love that a poor boy could give her. Left me to die like a fox means it's over when she does that. Hope you guys like that one. Any requests yet? We could stay on the same page and do Cal on it while we're at it. For those of you that are not members of the club, we have 3 signature songs that we do pretty much every meeting. So we could do, you guys ready for that one on page 4? How long can I find? It's in C, nice and slow. It's all in Hawaiian, but you can just follow along. Page 4 of the Tall Oaks book.
page is that on?
It's like page two of the Tallest book. Beautiful Kauai, another of our signature songs.
I'm sorry, but I was getting distracted because while we're playing here, because this is the first time we've actually set up this far over so you could see the vats from the Ono Brewery. We're in the brew house. They're one of our sponsors, and they allow us to come inside of their brew house twice a month to come in here and run our lessons, our primers, our jams, and our open mic. Off to the left side, which you saw earlier, is where the garage door is. That's where we normally set up our stage. But the reason I was saying I was getting distracted, I was looking at the vats, and then I see things like Little Kahuna, Dakine, and I said, how's it? And I'm looking at all these vats where they got all these Hawaiian names for all the Riptide. You know, everybody knows a Riptide. You know, you get caught one of those things, hopefully you're on the surfboard. But it was really cool to be looking around, and of course they are very aloha based, very passionate about Hawaii, and some of their beers are just named after Hawaiian names. Riptide, how's it? I know I drink. My favorite is the Manako. The Manako is a mango Belgian wheat, and they just got a new one that I really like called the Banana Hammock, and that is a German Weizenbier style, and they've got a lot of other ones, chocolate stouts, Irish stouts. So, and they are still open. They are open from 12 to 7. You cannot, if there's 10 people already in here, you got to wait your turn, and it's Tuesday through Sunday. And it is now, they changed their times to 12 to 7 because Odd Barbecue is run out of food. And so they're on a hiatus until we get through this crisis, which is good because they sold out everything that they had. So now Ono Brewery is open on a limited basis. Of course, you can't come in. Now, if they do have, if you call in and you have a growler or you buy a growler, they will have the beer ready for when you get here, and they will walk it out to your car. And of course, they have gloves, and even from the taps. I was cracking up because they got these little teensy weensy gloves that go over your little fingers so that you can touch the taps to get your beer. So they're set up. We support them, and as you can see, we're practicing the 6 feet.
And drinking lots.
And we're having our beer, and I'm filling up my growler. But I want to tell you, because we're practicing safe distance because that's important. We're washing our hands all the time. We've got a sink in the back with lots of soap. We got my hand sanitizers around here somewhere, and I know Amy's got some hand sanitizer. And they don't touch your credit card. They actually have you do the swiping if you're inside the tasting room next door. You make the order and you do the cards, and they actually their cards that they have. I don't have mine on me.
And of course, this room is like the adult
So
satellites in here.
I'm going to make room for Amy.
They sterilize these before you use it.
And then they really try to be very careful and practice everything that is smart about coming out here and staying. But here's the thing. If you've got any kind of illness, whether it's a slight fever or cough or anything, don't come down. Because you're going to infect other people that's here, or you might infect other people here, and you don't really know because until you get tested whether or not for sure you have the coronavirus. But none of us, we all checked before we got together and make sure nobody had a fever or cough or no, I'm kidding. We shouldn't kid about things like that, but no coughs, no fever. We're practicing all of the safe practices of washing the hands all the time and things like that. So have a good time. We're hoping that you're listening. I've seen that there's a couple of people and there have been some requests. I know we're having problems with the feed, but we're going to try to work on optimizing the throughput. We're on the house Wi-Fi. We've even tried my high-speed direct connect over Sprint. So we got some other things we're going to try to do on the next go-around, which is in about 3 weeks. Is the next one 3 weeks?
I'm not sure.
It's when we normally have our second Sunday jams. I'm sorry, second Sunday primer and group lessons. Of course, this is for the society members, but because we're broadcasting live, if you're connected to us, because we see one of our members, Laureline, she's out in Utah, she connected in, and we've seen some of the Bosties were logged in, Mary Jane Mill, who's up in Gaithersburg, logged in. I saw Nani log in for a little bit. So there's a lot of different folks logging in from the Northern Virginia Ukulele Society at different times. These are some special times, so we're trying to do this for you, the members of the Northern Virginia Ukulele Society. And what you see up here, I want to make sure I point out, because I want to thank them. We got Amy on the bass over here to my right. You can come in the window a little bit more this way. I have to change the window. So there's Amy. Behind her is David. Behind me to my left is Brian. And then over here is the other Amy. Of course, they're all members of the Northern Virginia Ukulele Ensemble, a component of the society. So again, I'm going to turn it over to these guys behind me, and they're going to play some more songs for you.
Do we have any more requests, Moses, on the...
Let me check.
Okay.
The dashboard.
Yeah, we
I
played
don't
it.
know. Brian, do you have the other book in this?
Yes.
I mean, I have both books too. if you wanna-
Oh, check this one out. Bob Gibson is logged in from Mississippi.
All right.
Wow, hi Bob!
So we got Laureline, who's out in Utah. We got Bob Gibson out of Mississippi. And I was checking to see if Kwang, is the tone better? Hey Jessica, I see that you're logged in too.
Hey Jessica!
Wow.
Trying to see who else is still
miss you
logged
too.
on. I missed a bunch of people. And I think some of the other folks, Terry, I don't know if you're still online. I can't see exactly who's
Terry.
still there, but Terry, yeah, we played your Molokai slide for you. And let's see.
Is it under Kindle?
Yeah, go back to the main Kindle.
App?
Okay, so without further ado, David, take it away with another song.
You don't
But make sure you tell them the page in the book that it's out of.
No requests?
Oh, Jessica says sounds good.
Oh.
I don't know that one. Can you hum a
We're
few bars?
struggling on some of those.
Oh,
We've done them.
Yeah, there's some good ones we haven't done for a while. We're
Right.
ready to do. Oh, like Penny on the Country. I always like that. We could do something like.
do you know how to sing it?
What is it?
You know how to do it?
Yeah, I remember, but I'm not sure that we can. If you want to come up here and join us, we can try it. Does anybody else know that was
What?
before you?
Eagle Eyes?
Honey on the Country.
Oh, yeah, we can find doctor.
Yeah.
You've done it.
What's the name of that book? What is it? The other one?
Songs and Jams, I think. Yeah, Song and Jam Session book.
Song and Jam Session.
It's the original main, it's the main book.
Yeah, see, I know I downloaded it, but I don't, everything's in alphabetical order, so I'm not sure what to look for.
Did we do this session, or was that on the previous one?
Oh, hey, Kevin. I see you on, that you were on my Facebook feed.
Yes.
Which Kevin?
There's about 5 Kevins, so which one?
Kevin Reeves. He's not in,
Wow,
6 Kevins.
yeah.
Yeah. We could do Edelweiss. That's one of our. Let's see. Let's do that.
I
That's
like
on
Edelweiss.
page 13 of the Song and Jam.
Yeah.
Oh, is it on there?
7 of the assistant
Oh,
living.
okay, so let's see what key it's in.
Page 7?
okay, I don't think, Tanya, I don't think you're on our feed here. Or Carol. I see Carol, you're still online.
It's
My
on
cousin
page 13,
Chris
but it's
dropped
in-
out.
But we've rekeyed it to see.
Trissa dropped out. Hey, Mary, are you still online? We're on the other feed.
Yours is in C already.
Yeah, I'm looking for Penny Old
Oh, okay, oh, that's it.
which I know.
Oh, Penny Country, it's in the original book, page 32.
Yeah, I got the, mine is 24. but- So we can do both of those.
Well, David, why don't you teach this song to us since we don't know it?
Because my paper says, get new version at the top of the page.
Oh.
Does it start with an F?
Yeah, it's okay. I'm not sure what's different.
If you play it out of the book, you'll be fine.
Yeah, okay, so,
Do you know the tune?
yeah, I know the tune. We did this years ago for the Reston
Correct.
Multicultural Fest.
Correct.
Sort of an early version of the ensemble. We got together and did this one. And it's a Randy Travis song, page 32 of the Song and Jam book. It's in F. And the first part, if I remember, the first verse is kind of a solo-ish bit. And then it picks up for the chorus. So let me see if I can remember it here. I'll go through. Places I have been, cities I have seen. Is that good? With concrete canyons rising from the ground.
No.
I'm a little pitchy, but
No.
here he comes. See, this is how we get him on.
Here you go.
We butcher it, he comes in.
It's up there.
Places I have been, cities I have seen, with concrete canyons rising from the ground. Miles and miles of asphalt trails stretched across the land, stampeding metal ponies leaving snow-colored
home on the range, on the old country. Stars at night, no city lights, on the old country. My home on the range, on the old country. Raindrops fall, the grass grows tall, on the old country. My home far away, on the old country. Raindrops fall, the grass grows tall, on the old country. My home far away, my home far away, my home far away. Or something like that. And I'll be right back.
Yeah, we had some good harmonies. We'll have to work that one up again. That was a good one.
I like that song.
Yeah, there's a key change there.
Yeah, there's a key change.
Yeah, we used to do that all the time when we did a key change.
Yeah, and we had a good harmony on the last line. We'd stacked it. Yeah, there's a D7 and then we come down
Right.
here.
Oh, I see that.
Yeah, this was we went to the alternate. Yeah, that's the trick.
All right.
Okay, so what happened to?
Title lines?
Yeah, where's that again? Page. Was it?
Well, mine is in the assistant educational.
Okay, my markup is I got it right here. So it's the red. We're in C.
Okay.
Right? Do you have that in C, Amy? D.
1, 2, and.
It's a waltz.
It's a waltz.
Oh.
This is a waltz.
No, 1, 2, 1, 2. There we go. There we go. We didn't do the intro, did we? It's a B. No, it's not a B. It's a E. Song was the
Every morning you greet me, tall and bright, big and bright. You look happy to meet me. Blossom of snow where you bloom and grow, bloom and grow forever. Edelweiss, Edelweiss, bless my home and forever.
men.
Edelweiss, Edelweiss, every morning you greet me, small and bright, clean and bright, you look happy to me.
Ladies. Everybody.
Edelweiss, Edelweiss, bless my home and forever.
Tag it.
Bless my home and forever.
Okay, that was nice. We're going to be doing that, I think, on our Viva Vienna, if I'm not mistaken. So we're going to work on that one as a society. Something like that arrangement, not exactly that, but something like that. And at the very end, so the first time through, it's forever, forever. But the last time we go F minor, C, like triple. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1.
Slow.
Yeah, slower. I'm just demonstrating. Okay. Okay. What else? How much time? 3:45. We got 15 more minutes, gang. Any requests over there, Moses?
Well, we can run over if we like, because we're not gonna do the open mic. We don't have the other software set up correctly. Oh, and Jessica said that David can't hear you too well. You need to speak up.
Okay, I need to get into the mic. Is that better? It's just I've got the microphone sideways. But that's good feedback. That's what we need. Moses, do you want to help us with Sweet Gardenia Lay?
Sure. Hang on, let me find out
All
where I
right, Sweet
have.
Gardenia Lay is in the Song and Jam book.
What's with this?
Yeah, it's not in the Tallux book. It's on page 29. And this is another one that we're working on for the Youth of Vienna. It's another slow one, and it's not hard, but there's a lot of chords, there's some chord changes, and there's
What page?
29 of the Song and Jam book. And we're all kind of just learning it, so bear
What's
with
the
us.
time signature on this?
Should be 4/4.
Yeah, I think it's a 4/4. And so if you notice the chords, the chord structure in the intro, it looks sort of like it's a duo. C, A minor, and then D minor instead of F, G7. Okay, and there's some variations of that, but that's the basic structure. So if you get lost, you can always kind of come back on that during the verse. All right.
Okay. Well, before we get started, I'm going to do this one because they got Hawaiian words up there. I'm drinking a German beer, so I'm Prosit, I'm gemütlich, I'm Prosit, I'm gemütlich. It's not to glamorize alcohol, it's just that we're very grateful of the Ono Brewing Company for letting us use their brew house. This is the Fourth Sunday stuff, and I just want to say this is a very good banana hammock, a German Weizen beer, and I know he's got, it's up here somewhere, but it's a Weizen beer that's very cloudy. That means it's done right, and this was graded by a German, says very good. All right, so we're going to get started on Sweet Gardenia Lay.
Now, Moses, just so you know, it's okay to glorify alcohol. New York has declared it essential. California, on the other hand, has declared marijuana dispensaries essential. So I think we can see the East and West Coast priorities.
Okay, we got to make sure we keep our 6 feet. Now, can I see that?
We can move it over. I can see it fine.
Brian, your cable's not on the.
I can hide out here in the back.
Okay. I can go. No, here we go. All right. D minor, G7, C, A minor. My sweet Gardenia Lay, you gave to me upon a moonlit night. Almighty,
are here, haunting me now. Your faint perfume I cannot forget till you return to me again someday, bringing me a song and my sweet gardenia, bringing me a song and my sweet gardenia, my sweet gardenia.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Moses, C sharp major seven, not coming immediately to mind.
No, that's,
Okay.
Or
it's a C, it's not a sharp, right?
Or-
It's a-
It's a
C
C
major.
major seven.
C sharp.
It says sharp, it's C says sharp, but it's C major seven.
C sharp major seven here, right?
Yeah, that's a typo. C, it should be C major
Cross
seven.
out the sharp on your.
Right, cross out.
That's actually not a bad outro. If you go. That would be pretty, if you go up to C sharp major seven, and then to a C seven, C major seven. No, you wouldn't play that with the baby or even. Anyways, what's the next song?
What's the next song?
Well, why don't we just do Little Grass Shack?
Okay.
It's right next there, right next to it.
So we'll do Little Grass Shack again?
When did you do that? Earlier?
We did,
Yeah,
Time
that's
ago,
on the
yeah.
on the,
On the Facebook.
Facebook, whatever.
I don't know.
I don't know what you
We can do it again, because this one, this one is for Viva Vienna again, and I'm sure people need practice, especially with the modulation from F to G and the Hawaiian lyrics.
Oh, there's something wrong with my DI. I'm not even getting it over there. Okay, hopefully you'll be able to hear this anyways. So it goes.
I wanna go back to my little grass shack in Keokuk, Hawaii. I wanna be with all the company in Wahine that I used to know so long ago. I can hear the old guitars play on the beach shack rolling out now. I can hear the old Hawaiian saying, it won't be long till the ship will be sailing back to Kona. It's a grand old place that's always there to see. You're telling me I'm just a little Hawaiian and a homesick island boy. I want to go back to my fish and boy. I want to go back to my little grass shack in Keokuk, Hawaii. And a hoo-hoo-a-doo-a-doo, ha-ha-ha-ha, standing by. And a hoo-hoo-a-doo-a-doo, ha-ha-ha-ha, standing by. I wanna go back to my little grass shack in Keokuk, Hawaii. I wanna be with all the counties and communities that I used to know so long ago. I can hear the old guitars playing on the beach shack rolling out now. I can hear the old Hawaiian saying, "You're gonna ride no kaua, hiki hali, how it won't be long till the ship will be sailing back to
encapsulated there, and that's why at the end of the song where you see that number 1, the green number 1 on your page and it says D7, we're coming out of the key of F, playing the D7 and going up to the key of G, and if you're wondering which ones they are, the key of F is not in the square brackets, and the key of G is in the square brackets. So first time around you play the letters in front, second time around you play the letters in between the square brackets. All right, so what's next? Amy, can you check the monitor to see what's, if there was anybody making a request there?
I think we could probably do Sweet Wahine again, because we did it, but it was, I think, in the previous, on the Facebook part of this.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's see what
Anything in there? It's
No,
bottom
nothing,
bottom
no.
right? Does it still show the NVUS on
Yeah.
Okay, then we're gonna play Sweet Wahine. It's on a number of pages in the Tall Oak and the
it's 29 on the tall Oaks.
and in the main songbook.
But it's 3 chords: A minor, D minor, and E7. Those 3 chords: A minor, D minor, E7.
One more time, and I'm going to show you how we can do just play scales. And that's Sweet Wahine, written by L.T. Smooth and Don Caudiel on the Big Island, honoring the Paniolos, who came to the Hawaiian Islands back in 1835 at the invitation of King Kamehameha III. So that was, like I said, we used that song in the Northern Virginia Ukulele Society to kind of teach people or encourage people to do solos, because we do go to scales. And they play that along with that particular progression, which is A minor, to a D minor, to an E7, back to an A minor to complete the first 4-bar set, and then you just go around again. And that's the next 4-bar set for the first half of the 8-bar block. And then when you do the C scales, then it fits with those notes. There are going to be some notes that don't quite sound as good and some that sound much better, but none of them are wrong. So that's one of the beauties of playing that song in that key using those scale notes. And as you get better, you play up the neck so that you play something like this. And that would be the C scale up on the 7th fret. Anyways, I'm going to let them play another song because my whistle needs wetting and I see my beer calling me from over there. Well, anyways, I'm hoping you're having a lot of fun as we do some of these different pieces. And David and Brian are going to pull out another song. I'm trying to get the ladies into the camera. I keep moving the camera back, but I'm not quite getting them all in. I'd like to make sure, because this is a bicameral club. You know, we do have men and women, so I like to have the women in the video camera as well too. But of course, the biggest part of the whole deal is safe distances. We're trying to stay within our 6 feet, and then washing hands frequently and jamming on different songs. Now, the thing is, just so that you guys know, because I know you've been up here for quite a while doing the Facebook Live while we get the technology straight. If any of you need to take a quick break, just take a quick break, and we'll try to fill in. What are we playing? What are you guys playing next?
Do this one.
I don't know. What?
Sweet Low, Sweet Chariot. It's in the song and jam, page 46. It's just C, F, C, G, C, C7, F, C. So if you can see, do you have that one, Amy?
But that's right, I'll
Yeah.
just follow along, I know the words.
We can put
Wait,
that.
how do I get to?
I can see this if we put. I don't know. If we put it right here, you can see it. I can see it fine.
I don't know how to use this thing.
You know,
Frank, how do I get to it?
Oh, everybody wave and say hi to Faith.
Hi, Faith!
Really miss you, Faith.
Hi, Faith.
Swing low, right?
Sweet
C, C, G, A, G.
Sing really high.
Can you do that?
Swing.
this is all works or the regular book.
No, I put it.
Regular book.
Pages in
46.
there. It's not in the regular book.
No,
No, not in the top.
It's not the regular book.
Well, it's 46, yeah.
Okay, not the table of contents at least.
Can you see it if you stand over here?
Yeah.
Okay. So the strum is down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, like that. Swing low, sweet cherry love, come for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet cherry love, come for to carry me home. I looked over to you, what did I see? Coming for to carry me home. A band of angels coming after me, coming for to carry me home. Yeah, oh, it's a nice, it's a pretty song, right?
Just wanted to.
We haven't done it the first time we did that for, I don't know. But
No, it's a long time. We played it a long, long time ago when it was first put in the book.
It's one of those lively ukulele songs, upbeat, you know, gets everybody going.
Lyle will love it.
So, no, you know what's great about that
Live in 12
song?
verses of it.
The great part of that song is actually doing all of the harmonies that go with it.
Yeah.
That's what we were just
That's
saying.
right, yeah.
You can layer it, you can do different,
Yeah, because it's,
cross melody.
the feed, it's at least 6 seconds, if not 20, so,
Oh, sorry.
something, yeah, there's a bit of a lag there, so that they can bleep me out, I think is the reason why, but unfortunately, it doesn't do a pitch correction on my singing. We'll work that one out next time. What else we got? United Breaks guitars.
Oh, no, don't do that one.
No, my daughter just brought a guitar home on Spirit Air, if you can believe that, but she,
So Faith said she loves listening in. Hey, Faith, I hope you like playing along too. I think you still got your songbooks with you too, right?
We could do you on my sunphone.
we could. All right.
That's pretty grim too.
Yeah, it sounded
Sorry.
Which one is that?
You're my
Never
sunshine.
mind.
No, there's nothing wrong with playing dark songs.
We could do page 12 of Tall Oaks.
No, now you got me started on this.
Here it
You
comes.
guys go ahead and find the next song.
Great.
I definitely want to bring this out. So, dark songs. Everybody likes to play "You Are My Sunshine" in the major key, going. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. I'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. Okay, but here's the thing. You go and listen, you go read the really read the lyrics. They're a little bit dark, and it should be going like, you are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. I learned that from a jamming friend of mine who lives out in California, and she played that at the Reno Festival one time, and I go, that's really cool. And she goes, you gotta read the lyrics. Go back and read the lyrics. And then ever since, when I play that song, I like to play that in A minor. But since you were talking about dark songs, I just had to come up here and play that one.
I have a little music box that plays that, the solar power that my granddad had. He used to sing it when we were kids, and it would cheer you up because the kids don't pay attention to
Yeah.
sunshine.
Uh-oh.
But the chorus is nice. but
Yeah,
the
okay.
verses
I think I left my card in that.
are.
Here was she.
Okay. The chorus is the intro, so we start with the chorus. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy. Let's go back to C. C7. You'll never know how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. The other night, dear, as I lay sleeping, I think I love you, my heart. I know, dear, I was mistaken, so I hold my head and cry. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. So you seem to leave me when you're away. My heart bleeds. So when you go and make me happy, I'll forgive you. Take away. Something like that. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy Oh, tag it. Oh, good idea. We'll do that when we get home. Everybody, save that one. Did that. Did that. Okay, slide. We did that twice. Jambalaya. We could do jambalaya again, because that was earlier, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, what page? Okay. Jambalaya is on page 21 of the Tollops book. 2 chords, C and G7. I think we did this earlier in the Facebook feed, but we didn't do it on this one, I don't think. Maybe, I don't know. Did we? Okay.
And you know, if you're still hanging around all this time, we want to do it again.
That's right. Yeah, we're like one of those tapes they play at Christmas time when we have like 12 songs. But we'll try and get some more for the next jam, and people can send. Yeah, that would be nice. All right, what'd you say?
3-trick pony.
Oh. Okay, jambalaya. This is a thumb strum, right? Yeah, decent clip. Goodbye, Joe. We gotta go. Me, oh, my, oh. We gotta go over the road down the bayou. My mom, sweetest one. Me, oh, my, oh. Someday we'll have big fun on the bayou. Jambalaya, crawfish pie, feel like I'm gold. 'Cause tonight I'm gonna see my share of me, oh. Pick guitar, fill fruit jar, and DJ-o. Someday we'll have big fun on the bayou. Thibodeau, fun to know, the place is buzzing. Kinfolk come see a ball by the dozen. We dress in style, go hog wild, be oh my oh. Someday we'll have big fun on the bayou. Goodbye, Joe, we gotta go, we oh my oh. We gotta go, pull the road down the bayou. Miami bonds, Venus one, we oh my oh. Some of them will have big fun on the bayou. Let's do this twice. Jump on line, crawfish pie, here they come though. 'Cause tonight I'm gonna see my share of me oh. Pick guitar, fill fruit jar, and DJ-o. Someday we'll have big fun on the bayou. One last time. Jump on line, crawfish pie, feel they come though. 'Cause tonight I'm gonna see my share of me oh. Pick guitar, fill fruit jar, and DJ-o. Someday we'll have big fun on the bayou. Okay. No, I only had one beer. It's Moses that's off there. We can talk about him.
Yeah, he's not here.
Treading water behind us here.
There it is.
All right.
Okay, it's 4:20.
He's probably recording it.
Yeah, it probably is on there. We did that. Did we do boardwalk during this segment?
No, we did not do
We
it.
did it earlier.
Okay, let's do that. Page 27. So on page 27 of Tulloch's book is Under the Boardwalk. Another one that is on our set list. I can't find my leg. For the Viva Vienna.
I heard Under the Boardwalk.
Yeah, you want to get your musical equipment up here and. So this can be an island strum. It's in C, down, down, up, up, down, up, down, down, up, up, down, up, down, down, up. And I think Moses has a instrumental for this. something.
So we'll go to 4:30 and then we'll cut it off there.
Okay, so.
Because we've been here a while,
Do you-
right?
Moses, do you have your sheets for like Yellow Submarine and Banana Boat? I don't have mine with me. We can
No, I don't.
do, those are, does anybody have those? From the outreach maybe or something? I don't have it.
Sugar brochures. Who's Sugar brochures?
I have raindrops.
Do you want to do, I mean, if you want to lead one, come on out. We've kind of hit
Sugar
ones.
brochures.
Chicken dinners.
Yeah, we've kind of hit the ones we know from.
Hey, Sugar. I think I know you.
I have banana boats on.
Oh, good, okay. Is it 2 chords basically, C and F?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
C?
I've got one that's F and C7.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
do that, okay. Yeah, because we can do both. Okay, so that's page 11 of 3. So this is page 11 of 3.
One finger song.
It's on my phone.
It's maybe not in your book. This is from probably the outreach, the education outreach collection, and the page number is kind of off. But anyway, so the Banana Boat song, you know, Deo, Deo, and
It's only F and C.
it's an F and C7. And so the way we teach it, if we have super beginners, is with the F, you just play with your index finger, you leave off. And then you can just play those 2. Okay, and so this is on our, this one in Yellow Submarine are 2 like this, with like 2, 3 chords. So I think one of them has a B flat on it, or a cheating B flat, which is just those 2. It's like a power chord or something, which we're doing not only for the education outreach in the libraries, but also for the Viva Vienna set. Hoping that we'll get some people to bring ukuleles with them. So anyway, so we start with F, and so the cue is when the ukulele head is up, then we're playing F, and when it comes level, more or less, then C7. Okay? And what's that high note up there? What's an F?
Higher.
Can you say it?
Daylight come and I wanna go home. Daylight come and I wanna go home. Play the chorus again. Day-o, day-o, daylight come and I wanna go home. Day-o, day-o, daylight come and I wanna go home. Come, Mr. Tallyman, tally me banana. Daylight come and I wanna go home.
Sorry.
Mr. Tallyman, tally me banana. Daylight come and I wanna go home. 6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot lunch. Daylight come and I wanna go home. 6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot lunch. Daylight come and I wanna go home. Day-o, daylight come and I wanna go home. Daylight come and I wanna go home.
If you want to stop something like it, that's when you've been singing up here for 3 hours, it's hard to hit those notes. So,
I have no problem, just like
it's the Hemavite. It's got lots of helium instead of carbonation in it.
Wee-haw!
Yeah. So how does Yellow Submarine go?
You have that in here.
Oh, do you have it also? The two,
I don't know if I have it in here.
yeah, I did butcher the arrangement of that a bit. I didn't follow it exactly, but it was,
Yeah, but it's different.
yeah.
Wow. Hey, Carol, I'm glad you're enjoying it, playing it by ear, because I know you're in Canada and you don't exactly have our songbook. So that's doing pretty good if you're playing by ear. I know there's a couple of songs that's got some weird chords in it, but that's really cool.
Yeah, I've got the,
Do you have Yellow Submarine?
well, I have it, but it's got 2 chords. It's
What song is that?
This
Yellow
is from
Submarine,
the
two
Jose
chord
Jose.
version.
Oh, no, it's more than 2 chords.
Actually, it's three.
It's 3 chords.
F, C, C7, B.
It's 2 chords in the chorus, 3 chords in the verse.
What I've got is
F.
We all live in a yellow submarine, yellow submarine, yellow submarine. We all live in a yellow submarine, yellow submarine, yellow submarine. La, 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 la. Many toes on the wall, in the submarine.
That's not right. No, I'm not getting it right. Do you have the I'm next week, it's got the chord.
yeah, no, this one, the one I got to
Anyways, those 3. And I'm not doing the tipping too well either.
tricky.
Well, I haven't practiced the way some of you guys have done, so. Well, we can find something else. There's maybe one more or something.
No, I got it.
Or else you guys, do you have one you want to play?
So why don't we do this? Pick one of the last songs. So we'd like to thank everybody who came out, and it's a long time, and we messed around more with the tech that we did. We're using the thing to kind of show the song sheet. So one of the things we want to do is we do want to again thank Ona Brewery for allowing us to use their brew house. Come on down. They're open from 12 to 7. They don't have any more food these days, but you can certainly get a growler, buy a growler from them, show support for the local small businesses, and they are a very small boutique brewery. As you can see behind me, there are some of these vats. They brew everything that they have right here on the property. They're very passionate about Hawaii, so that they have beers like Monaco, which is a mango flavored Belgian wheat. They have what I like to drink, the Belgian wheat's also a good beer, that's one of my favorites. Another one they just recently kicked out, which is the Banana Hammock, which is a German Weizen beer, a wheat beer, and it's a true Weizen because there's some of it's not filtered, so it's not clear, a Kristallweizen. It's still got the yeast cloudiness in there, and it has the right flavor, good carbonation. And then of course they have the IPAs, the stouts, and I think they have a new one called it's a seltzer of some sorts. I haven't tried that because I'm not very partial to seltzers, but they do have a big variety of beer. And the way they do that is they have these neat little cards, and they got the tiny taste glasses that's about this size. And then of course, if you don't want to come inside because and everybody has a different opinion or feeling, and there's nothing wrong with it because of the coronavirus that we have going around. And like I said, we've been practicing try to 6 to 8 feet between all of us. We got the floor gridded to make sure that we're not standing to the next square over. You're at least standing 2 squares from each other. So that gives you the 6 feet, 6 to 8 feet. We are not more than 5, and that was intentional to make sure that we only had 5 society members helping out here from setup to broadcast to playing. And I would like to, the last song we have here, I'd like to dedicate to Scott and Cindy, who are the owners for Ona Brewery. And and they do great things, from donating tips to a portion of the tips to local charities, making beer of a boutique that's really fun to drink, and they have a bunch of games here that you can bring out the families and just play table games while you're having a good time, good social time. And that's what we wanted to do, is make sure that this was more of a social event. It's not a performance by the society or the ensemble, but just to share a bunch of music in a time that's a little dark right now. And hopefully that you had some fun while we were doing that. And we're going to be doing, at least for the society members, we have our next primer and group lessons that we'll do the same way. We're going to be broadcasting live right here from the brew house in Ona Brewery to do your the club's primer and group lessons on the second Sunday. And if this continues, which it's possible, because you saw the numbers going up recently, it's possible that we continue for another month, so that we'll have our next open mic. And we will have the text sorted out so that we can do the open mic, because those of you who sign up through our Facebook page will be able to sign up there, and it's going to be throughout that Sunday morning. I will publish a set list to those folks on the Facebook page, and then send you a link. So I will need a way to message you either through Facebook or email, and then we will send you the Zoom link, because we're going to cross-connect Zoom so that you do your performance, your open mic performance through Zoom, and Zoom to our streaming tool, from our streaming tool to YouTube, and then it's broadcast live from us. That's why we got kind of goofed up in our software on this laptop we're using, and it was a little bit more challenging to try to set up from last night to this morning. We'll have it sorted up in 4 weeks in time for the next open mic, because I think you'll have a lot of fun, and it opens the door to have different folks from different places all around the DC Metro, maybe even some other places, because we have some of our members from Mississippi, Utah, and even a former member out of Washington State. So, and they're listening in, and maybe Faith, there's a plug there for you, that you can sit there and do an open mic for us, and then we'll do the cross connects, and then you'll be beaming live under the rubric of Northern Virginia Ukulele Society. So hopefully we'll see you in, at least the society members, in 2 weeks, or the second Sunday, and everybody else, because we're going to open up our jams to the public. And if you just out there and you see us and you want to join in, that's fine. And if you're looking for some of the music, we'll try to figure out some way how to share that music, as some of it is actually copyrighted. So we want to make sure we do the right thing by the artist. If it's copyrighted, we want to make sure it's under the fair use practice, and that way they get the credit. Just like the song we have, Sweet Wahine, that was given to us to use and record by LT Smooth and Don Kaulia, and we use it as a teaching tool to teach our members how to solo. So hopefully, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks or even the next month. And I'm going to turn it over to David for the last song.
Moses, come join us. We're going to Shady Grove.
Okay.
I think they did it when we were doing Facebook. We haven't done it for this particular streaming event. Can you see it?
I don't think you know. Because to welcome all the people who are coming in for the Guinness World Record breaking attempt. So I rewrote the lyrics so that they have a little bit more of a Hawaiian feel. So we're going to go back to the first one where we're talking about, instead of peaches and apples, we're talking about guavas and mangoes. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Wish I had a little time in a golden twine. Every time we found it, you know the kind.
Thank you very much, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks. Remember, germ-free handshaking.
This also works.
Yeah, right.
See you next time.